Greetings, and welcome everyone to another edition of Third Action. I am your host, Jason, and these are the same three, who I didn't have something for this week. Shoot, I got so distracted by our audio troubles. Same three players.
You had 10 extra minutes.
Yeah, I know. Same three players that were here last week. We have Charlotte in the bottom left, playing Asher Ford, Human Ranger.
Hello there.
The bottom middle, we have Will, playing Greshy Ironroot, Dwarven Druid.
Greetings, friend of the Grummels.
Damn it, I will never get this right. And the bottom other side, we have Adam, playing Gunn, Human Champion of Arestal. And it looks like I forgot to update the episode name here, but that is episode 28 that you're viewing or listening to with your eye or earballs. So welcome.
Respectively.
At the same time, hopefully. Or hopefully not, I don't know. So, last time on Third Action. Let's see. So our party has been exploring the misgivings, aka the old Foxglove Manor out on the coast to the south of Sandpoint. You've been searching for Aldern Foxglove, who you believe to be a former noble turned serial murderer in the region. While exploring the house, you decided to make your way up to the attic, where you found the ghost of one Aisha, a mysterious Verizian woman who seems to have been murdered here in this very house. You also find her body stuffed in behind a mirror. But her ghost, while initially violent and vengeful, seemed to be dazzled or stunned by her reflection in the mirror behind her. You covered the mirror, which sent her into a fury. She flew out of the room, through the halls, down the stairs, and made her way to the first floor of the mansion. There you found her ripping apart the floorboards underneath a spiral stain of moss on the floor, revealing a sort of deep tunnel down to a dilapidated stone staircase. You dropped in after her, intent on following her to what seems to be, she seemed to be chasing Aldern or seeking Aldern. You followed her trail through a few rooms in this sort of hidden basement area, and then found your way through a kitchen, down some more stairs, down another stone staircase, into caverns deep below the mansion. There were signs in the caverns that something had already been through. You surmised that something was Aisha's ghost. You gave chase after doing a little bit of exploring, I guess, off to the side, and found Aisha flinging goblin ghouls around, strangling them in midair. While that was going on, some ghouls decided to attack you. You managed to fend them off for the most part. I think maybe one ghoul is still standing, perhaps? That might be the case. I think it is the case, yes. One ghoul still stands, but at that very moment, as Gunn and Greshy sort of close in on this last ghoul, Aldern emerges from a door in this chamber that you're in, and turns to Asher. Do I want to repeat what he says? He professes some amount of love towards you, is excited by your arrival, and requests that you consummate your hunger. He seems to kind of transform, or something in him changes as his words twist. But before he's able to continue, Aisha, full of fury, lunges at him, arms outstretched, ready to strangle him. And that is where we ended last time. So,
Is she jealous or is she just angry?
who knows?
She's got the rage.
She has every reason to be angry at him because he seems like a right twat.
If she's jealous, she's directing her anger towards the right person.
This is true.
Very healthy. Healthy ghosts.
Okay, so I'm
Asher
gonna
can get his
try-
kisses in with somebody else. It's
Mhm.
fine.
Asher doesn't want kisses. No kisses for Asher.
Your kisses
Asher can
are
have dog
wasted on
kisses.
me.
Phelan will take care of
Yay! Yes, it's the only kind of kisses I want.
that. Maybe
Okay, I
harsh
need
kisses,
to,
but that would be weird.
get the
maybe.
camera in the right
They're like,
spot.
I can't
There
do
we
it with my mouth. Voice kisses.
Harsh kisses just sound unpleasant, but maybe not
They
so
just
bad.
kind of take their like horsey mouth and go like. I think.
Oh dear.
Wonderful. Okay, so it is battle time. Battle time.
Battle time.
There we go.
Let's do this.
Ooh. Okay. I guess we still have. You know what? Let's re-roll initiative. Things have changed. Let's
Alright.
get new initiatives from the party.
Oops. Ignore whatever I just clicked, or don't.
just accept it.
Actually, it's what I just forgot to click
Oh
my,
my God.
name, so it's a 29 though.
Oh. Greshy just got a natural 20 for total 33.
I gotta go find us on the. Oh, there we are. We moved around. I can't click on my name until get zoomed in on the action.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
There we go. Now I can roll that.
There we go.
I need to stop stacking things on
15.
top of all the books I need.
Uh oh.
Okay. So 15 from Gunn. This guy got in 9 from the ghoul. Aisha has a 21. And Aldern Foxglove has a 26. So, okay. Let me just get these sorted. All right, so we've got Greshy up first. Greshy's up first with a 33. Asher with a 29. Foxglove with a 26. Aisha with a 21. Gunn with a 15. And the last remaining ghoul with a 9. So, let's begin.
All right.
Up first
question.
is Greshy. Yes?
This position right here, is it someplace I can stand? Right next to where I'm at now?
Yes, so actually let me go ahead and quickly redescribe the two rooms that you're in. Greshy and Gunn, as well as the last remaining ghoul, are in this kind of side chamber. Why is my microphone is right here? You're in a kind of side chamber filled with bones and viscera. They're just kind of heaped around, as well as bits of moss all around. You can definitely stand in the bones, but the bones are difficult terrain. In the other chamber, where Asher is witnessing Aisha trying to strangle Aldern, it's kind of this large, cavernous room, almost cathedral-like in nature. It's got a massive domed ceiling. The floor itself slopes downward about 20 feet into what looks like a kind of small pond, I guess, of water. You get it looks very foamy, like it's seawater. So it seems to be some kind of like outlet into the ocean from here. The mansion that you've been exploring is on the coast, so an outlet to the ocean far below does make some sense. So, Greshy, to answer your question, yes, you can stand there, just difficult terrain.
All right, fair enough. Did we actually beat on this particular ghoul so far?
No, that ghoul is totally fresh.
All right, well, I will
It's currently
stride
facing Gunn.
into the bones because I can't step into difficult terrain.
Okay.
And then I will command Phelan to go after frickin' Fancy Pants over there. And Phelan will do so. He'll take
Well,
off
you
running.
can't You cannot currently see him.
I could hear him when he shouted at Asher, yes?
Yes, sure. So what do you say?
I tell him to go get the fancy pants asshole.
Okay. I'll allow that.
So
sure.
What
first,
if he gets me? What if he's confused?
I don't think he's going to be confused that Asher of all people is the fancy pants.
It's like, oh yes, I know who it is.
So Phelan would enter the room proper, and seeing the one over here who annoys the fuck out of Greshy at least, would then try and make his way over. Unfortunately, he cannot make it all in one turn, and so he will just stand next to him
So
and starts growling.
So he'd have to go around the edge here. It's like
That's
a pretty
fine.
deep slope. As Phelan rushes forward, I need a fortitude save.
Oh, sure. I'm sure he's most fortuitous. Oh, that's only a 16 though.
Okay, as he approaches, there's this overwhelming stench that just fills Phelan's nostrils. He pauses and kind of wheezes to himself. He is now, let's see, it's not a critical failure, so he is sickened 1.
Oh dear. Let me apply that. Second 1. And that'll do whatever it's gonna do. Oof, that's not a good. I don't like that. I see my character sheet just change.
Yeah, so sickened.
negatives.
Sickened applies to all checks and DCs. So -1 to all checks and DCs while you're sickened 1. You cannot willingly ingest anything while you're sickened, and you can spend an action retching on your turn or scratching or whatever is appropriate for the illness. In this case, probably vomiting, to try and recover from the sickness.
All right. Well,
if you
then
succeed,
if he
then you
stopped
reduce
here,
the
would
value
he
by
be
1.
able to use his next action to attempt to retch?
Yes, if he has 1 more action, yeah.
He does, since that would have been only 40 feet of movement to get there.
Okay. While he's in the stench, he takes a -2 to recover.
All right. Is that another fortitude save to retch?
Yes,
then?
it is another fortitude save to try and.
That's a total 28. -2 would be 26.
Okay, he does manage to succeed. He is stopped there for a bit, but he does get rid of the sickness.
All right. Well, he didn't get close enough then, but it'll be fine. And then, since Greshy's right up next to this ghoul here, he's just going to try and bat him over the head with his staff. Right now, for I can find where I'm looking for. One-handed. Oh, I think it's lagging a bit. There it goes. 16 to hit the ghoul.
16 to hit the ghoul. So you rear back with your staff, which is really just a fancy fence post. Swing, and 16 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
All right. Should not have been drinking at that moment. It's actually click here. Oh, do a
Oh.
mighty 2 damage.
Okay,
To the ghoul.
2 points of bludgeoning damage. You just kind of slam it in the shoulder, and it reels a bit, but otherwise seems fine. Asher.
Away with you, Daddy.
Alright. I'm gonna take my first action and move 5 over here, so I have a little bit of a better view. I'm gonna hunt prey. Aldern. Just
Okay.
in case. And can I ready an action, like ready my crossbow for if he like attacks me? Because I kind of want to see what she does first.
So readying an action takes 2 actions. You can use
Oh, it
2
takes 2
actions to prep something, yeah. And then it's a reaction to actually use your ready action.
So instead of hunt prey, can I just do 2?
Yeah,
Do
sure.
that? Can I? All right. Yeah. So that's what I would like to do.
Okay, so you move around the outside edge of the room, away from Aldern, but still keeping a close eye on what's going
Yeah,
on.
kind of.
And you hold your crossbow out, ready to shoot. What's your
If
what's your
he
condition?
came to attack me, pretty much,
Okay?
I'd want to just be ready.
So as Aisha's grip is like tightening around his throat, his demeanor starts to change, and No, please. My love. Aisha, I didn't mean to. The brothers, they made me do this. They made me do this. I don't know what became of me. I don't know what happened. Please. Anything, spare me. And he wastes his turn attempting to plead with Aisha. Aisha releases and kind of floats back a moment. Tears are just pouring down her eyes. Aldern, I can't forgive you. And she lunges again and goes for a grapple. That will connect. As much as a ghost can grapple. And let's see how much damage she does. She will try and choke him out. Okay. Call that thingies. So as she tightens her grip on Aldern's throat, no, Aish, no, stop before the skin saw man comes. No, it's too late. It's too late. He's here. And his eyes go wild and his tongue starts to lash out again. But she is undeterred. Gunn.
Oh.
It's creepy there.
Alright, well,
You can't see any of this happening, but you can hear.
I can hear quite interesting stuff. First thing I'm going to do is try and lop the head off this critter in front of me.
Okay.
'Cause I feel like I need to be out there and not here, so let's try to make short work of it if we can. We have a
32 is a...
hit.
Yep, that is a critical hit on the ghoul. Can roll the damage.
So, looks like about 30 plus good damage.
Yeah, so in one clean slice, you sear the head off of this ghoul. It collapses on the ground. A smoking, glowing, golden neck wound where its head used to be.
You're welcome.
For my second action, I'm gonna... I'll free action give Greshy a nod. And I'll do my activation on the flame on the longsword.
Okay, you run your hand over the blade and the smoldering rune kicks in, lighting it.
1, 2, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna run out this far.
Okay, you turn around and run back into the chamber, the big sort of open circular room where you can see Aldern being strangled by Aisha.
Great. Looks good. Keep it up.
Okay, that's your 3 actions.
Yep.
This ghoul is no more, so I'm going to take him out of initiative. Start of round 2. Oh, my round tracker's messed up. Greshy.
All right. Greshy will start moving towards the sound of the problems. 5, 10, 15, 20. Now, there's this bit of a hole here, but does he have clean line of sight on either Aldern or Aisha? It looks like it, but it's up
Yes,
to you.
you can see both of them through this hole. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it depends on what you're doing. If you're casting a spell through it, that's fine. If you're...
That was the plan.
Okay,
Sure. So,
Whoa. Hello.
Oh,
I'll
Oh,
be right back.
you're in the dark.
spooky.
Adam has been thrust into darkness.
That's unusual.
The curse continues.
I thought we were supposed to have good luck. Oh, luckily it was just the room there. It's not as bad.
Okay, so you're standing there in the...
I am standing there, and then I am going to cast Flaming Sphere on the spot where Aldern's standing. And we are
Okay.
going to light him up. Needs to make a DC 21 reflex save.
While being strangled.
While being strangled.
How big is the flaming sphere?
It's just 5 feet.
I think it's
Okay.
more like 3 feet, but you know,
It's
Well, sure,
it's
I mean, it
within
takes up.
one square.
it sits in 1 square.
Let me give you control over this.
I still love that spell.
It can be fun. I haven't even broken out the big spells yet.
Okay, you should be able to control the
I can.
flaming orb of death. So what does it require?
DC 21 reflex save.
Okay, from Aldern, who is currently being grappled. Grapple. Considered flat-footed. Okay. Even though he's flat-footed, he makes the save and is
So
a
he takes
21.
Fire damage then, I believe.
Sorry, let me confirm that he didn't critically succeed it.
Oh dear.
No, he did not critically succeed because he is grappled. So he will take how much? 10
It
damage.
should be 5 damage.
5 for half. Yes. So he takes
Aye.
half the damage. He manages to squirm and wheel his way around to try and avoid the flaming sphere that has appeared next to him, but it's still partially caught on fire.
Now here's a fun question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Can I tumble through that square now? Because I may have done this in the wrong order.
The square where this flaming sphere is?
Well, where Aldern is, but there also happens to be a flaming sphere there.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Unless you want to take the damage from the fire.
Well, I mean, you're controlling it, you're moving it. with
I
your
can't
will.
control it on this turn.
Yeah, he just
So I've
created
used
it,
up my
so-
actions, but Phelan has an additional action. And I was originally going to try and have him flank a bit, but it seems instead he's just going to come by and move into position to threaten Aldern directly.
Okay,
And that would be my turn.
Asher.
Alright.
So you've lost your readied
Going
action.
well. I lost my what? Oh,
You lost
yeah,
your
that's
readied
right.
action, but
Get
still
out of
take
here.
turn.
Alright.
Didn't want you
Now
anyway.
I'm gonna hunt prey, Aldern, and attempt to shoot him. Seems like he's all gross.
okay.
There's not much
Convinced
that
that
he
there's
can
no
do.
saving him, Asher focuses his eyes.
Something
Takes
in
aim.
there. The only way out is to shoot him, I guess. I don't know. In my head, that seems right. Let's try our best. Ooh, a natural 1. Not doing so hot for 15.
Okay, you hesitate
shoot
just too
myself.
long and fire. The shot goes into the cavern wall and shatters.
Oops. All right.
2
Well,
actions
my
down.
last action's gonna be to reload.
Okay, you reload that trusty crossbow.
All right. Good luck, everyone.
No, I can't die here. The skin saw man can never die. And Aldern is going to, let's see. First, he's going to try and break the grapple, which he succeeds at. So he slips out of its grasp, Aisha's grasp. How does Flaming Sphere work? When does it do damage?
It does it on my turn.
On Greshy's turn, to people in the square, it ends on.
Okay, got
Aye.
it. Okay, so he
It's-
can slip out.
If it rolls by you, it's not enough to burn you. It's just if
Right, it's just
like,
in there. Okay.
It basically sticks to you.
Okay, in that case. So he's going to move to start with. And he'll actually leap. So he leaps across the chasm to the northern side, away from the flaming orb, Phelan, and Aisha, and reaches into his cloak to pull out a strange mask. The mask itself looks like it's made of like black leathery flesh, and he pulls it up and over his face. There doesn't appear to be any like shape, or it doesn't seem to represent anything. It looks like just a series of leathers placed over one's head. But as he fixes it, the mask begins to morph, and Aldern changes shape, and his features twist into the familiar form of one woodsy ranger, Asher.
Ew. Get away from me with that.
If you will not join me, I will become you.
Oh.
Let's do that creepy shit.
Do not become me. That would be a bad choice with my one roll.
On Aisha's turn, she shrieks, and her eyes glow with red malice. She raises her hands, and two of these goblin corpses fling their way across the room at Aldern. So it's one attack roll. That is a natural 20. And then the second attack roll from another goblin corpse. That is much less than that, so that one will not hit. But she does do a critical hit, slamming one of them directly into Aldern's chest, knocking the wind out of him. And she's going to fly closer to him. Gunn.
Find a way over there, but it's rather far to... Maybe I'll take a move up here and stand next to Asher.
Hi.
And we haven't seen Aldern do any ranged damage yet, so I think I will, I'm torn between... I know what I'll do. I will raise my shield, and I'll activate my bracelet of dashing to increase my speed for the next round.
Okay.
So everything is turned on now.
All of the glowy bits on Gunn's person are glowing. Greshy, top of round 3.
All right. To start with, Greshy's going to move into the main chamber, 5, 10, 20, since that's difficult terrain to move through there.
Yes. So you squeeze through the hole in the wall on the other side of this chamber to find yourself near Phelan and the Flaming Orb.
And we'll take another action to sustain the Flaming Orb, so that can go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to go hang out with Aldern. He's not getting away this easy.
Okay,
Bastard.
so he has to do a reflex save.
If he saves on this reflex save, he takes no damage.
Okay, so he got a 29.
He saves, so
Okay.
he takes no damage.
Okay,
But there's still an
he's too
orb in his
nimble. He
face, so
twists away from the orb as it approaches.
and then Greshy with his last action will instruct Phelan to get himself in there. Don't let him get away that easy. 5, 15, 20, 25, 30. So now Phelan's within range to actually go for a bite. And he does the second action. And that's a 21 to hit.
A 21 will not hit Aldern. He is too
Didn't think
fast,
so.
too nimble. Phelan bites at his foot just as he's leaping out of the way. Asher,
Oh dear. All right.
Skin
you look across the way and see yourself looking back at you.
I don't like to see myself looking back at me. I avoid mirrors at all costs. I dislike this. I will try and shoot him
Mirrors remind you of water.
for a 23.
23 will not hit. The unnerving image of yourself looking back at you has distracted you just enough. You fire, and the bolt goes past into a wall.
I don't like this at all. I'm gonna reload. I will try again. Oh, it's worse with a 19.
19. Okay, you crank the reload, fire again, and you miss just as, on his turn, he leaps towards you.
No.
Let's see. Guess I'll have to do something like... Okay, yeah, he does kind of like a running start. Let me move this flaming orb out of the way. 10, 15, and then leaps next to you.
Ugh.
As he's leaping, he pulls this massive razor. It looks like just a shaving razor, and he swings it at you with a heart full of malice. That is a lot. That is a 41 to hit.
Well,
I have a 22.
I left my aura there.
I just instantly die.
No, I can get him. I'll use
Sorry,
Glimpse of
guys.
Redemption. I'll use Glimpse
Okay.
of Redemption as my reaction to protect you a little bit.
Thank you.
Okay,
Because that's
so
now I'm close to you, so I can.
okay, you turn and you just yell "repent," and the skin saw man, his eyes flicker, and for a moment you can see Aldern in his eyes. I guess through Asher's eyes, and he decides not to take the attack.
What? Really? Ooh, good job.
Aw. I'm not dead.
Good job, me.
You wouldn't
I-
have been dead, probably.
He,
I saw
would-
my life
I mean-
flash before my
yeah,
eyes.
the blade comes right next to Asher's heart, and just this single scolding from Gunn causes him to pause. Fear just kind of fills his eyes. He steps back. What have I done? What am I doing? No. Aisha's turn. She screeches again, flies towards him, and is going to try and grapple him. Unfortunately, a natural one will not work. She'll try again. That is also unsuccessful. She tries to grab at Aldern, and he turns around and tries to swat her away. Gunn.
I will step in, and I will use my sword to engage Aldern. Try and get his attention. Say, "How about you fight me?" There's the first attack for a 32 to hit.
32 will hit. Roll damage.
Okay. We have 17 slashing, 4 fire, and 5 good.
Okay, that was a lot of damage. You step forth and slash at his back, tearing his clothes, his fancy nobleman's robes, and hitting home right in his back. Dark blood spews everywhere, and he is quite hurt by that. Those two
I'm
actions.
going to keep my shield raised.
Okay. You raise your
Sounds good.
shield again in preparation for retaliation. Top of round 4, Greshy.
I don't think there's a clean path for me to get that flame sphere over there. Is there?
I think you can double move it, if I'm not mistaken.
Don't think so. I think I can only sustain once. Could be wrong about that.
No.
Is that
you
correct?
can technically sustain as many times as you want in a round.
All right.
So as far as I'm aware, I don't think they've errated this yet, but it seems like you can sustain something more than one time. You're just obviously using multiple actions for it.
You also can roll it right through friendly squares.
I'm just checking the wording on it.
As long as it doesn't say once per turn when you sustain.
You can sustain the spell in subsequent rounds, leaving the sphere in its square, roll it to another square within range, and dealing 3d6 fire damage each creature within its square. So I guess I can roll through
Yeah, so
allied squares as long as I move it and don't stop it there.
Yep. So every action you use to sustain it, you can roll it some more.
So I can move it there.
That's my
And I can
ruling.
move it
It's a little bit
there.
nebulous in the rules, but I think it's fine.
As far as I'm aware, that's always how Flaming Sphere has been in previous editions of this and other games.
Well, we'll keep moving it. So one
Yes, it
sustain,
just-
we'll move it to here.
It calls into question some other various spells in this game. Like, there's some spells that increase an aura every time you concentrate, which I think is also okay, and that might also be intentional. So I'm going with that reading until they errata it. Sure.
Fair enough. So I take 2 actions to sustain the orb and move it over to hang out with Aldern.
Okay,
Because-
so he gets a reflex save out of that.
Doesn't seem like it's going to do much good.
No, he got another really high roll, a 37.
Yeah, he definitely beats it. So still no damage. But now,
Okay.
with his last action, Greshy will whistle for Phelan and point over to this side. And Phelan, getting a bit tired of all this running, takes off 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 35, 40, then 5, 10, 15, 20 will put him right next to Aldern here. And now we're in a big group hug. Nice little huddle here.
Okay, you all surround the skin saw man, Asher.
Ah! I am very upset. Let's see what I'd want to do. Do I have any kind of flanking from here? Would someone have to be in this spot across the way?
Someone would have to be in the spot across, and flanking doesn't help ranged attacks.
That's true.
It's only for melee.
All right, my little ranged attack.
I mean, you still got your
Okay.
hatchet, I suppose, right?
If I move, is there attack of opportunity?
There
not.
is if he has that feature.
Ooh. Let's see. All right.
Take the gamble.
I'm taking the Can I move to this square? Or is it covered by stuff?
No, you can move there. So you're moving
Okay.
north away from him.
I'm gonna take like one step back here.
Okay, you move. He doesn't seem to have that kind of military training.
Good
Uh,
for me.
Well,
That's
also,
right.
also, you only moved 1 square, right? So
You could have called it a step.
Yeah, you can
sort of-
keep moving. Oh yes, if you were just moving 1, you could step. But
Okay.
okay, so you reload.
So I'm gonna reload. It's my second and try my best. It's not been going so well for Asher, but he's real scared. So, ignore that. All right.
Double reload.
And it's not so good. It's a 17. So
Okay, your hands shaking. You try to take aim and fire, but you miss, hitting the flaming sphere instead. The bolt burns up.
I'm useless this time, guys. Good
It's all right.
luck.
No! My love, please! And he steps away from the flaming sphere around Gunn and lunges for Asher.
Stop this at once.
So, first attack. Are you supposed to tell me the result before, or sorry, tell me whether or not you're using that ability before I tell you the number?
I don't think so.
No, that's not the case. Yeah.
It's
Because
a reaction to. I think it's a reaction to an enemy hits an ally
Okay.
with an attack.
that makes sense. So this is a 32 to hit.
That would
Yeah, I
hit.
will definitely use it.
Okay. Aldern lunges and Gunn puts his hand in between the two of you. Aldern staggers. No, I can't do this. He steps back a bit, giving up the attack. But something changes in his eyes again, and he lunges once more. And there's the natural 20.
No.
I think it was probably going to be a crit regardless.
Am I just gonna die?
Regardless, I'm sure. But
Well, we'll find out. He'd have to do quite a lot of
Pretty good.
damage for you to die straight up.
He's pretty good at
It does
attacking.
say an enemy attacks one of your allies or a creature that's friendly. So
Right.
perhaps I am supposed to declare before you roll.
Or before the results are decided.
We can figure it out later. That is a 31 points of piercing damage as he stabs the blade into you.
Oh, that's
Um,
not too bad. You'll be fine.
I'm okay.
As the razor rakes across your flesh, you are also left bleeding.
Ah.
Sorry, chair.
No, it's
What does
after.
that
It's-
mean?
So at the end of your turn, I think. Sorry, persistent damage. Persistent damage. Instead of taking this damage immediately, you take it at the end of each of your turns, rolling whatever the damage is each time. So in this case, you have a D8 bleed.
That's a
And
big
after
bleed.
taking the damage, you roll just a flat D20. If you beat a 15, then you recover.
Okay. I hope my blood clots.
Any source of magical healing will also stop the bleeding, and an ally can use 2 actions doing something reasonable that would help stop the bleeding. To, like, reduce the check from a DC 15 to a DC 10. Okay. Aisha's turn. Not stopping, she swoops in behind Aldern. No, you can't escape. And yeah, she's just gonna go for the same thing. She's going to attack. Whoop, rolling onto my keyboard. That's what I want. That's actually critical, and her second attack is opposite of critical. Okay, she lashes out at him, slashing his back with her ghostly appendages, ripping through his flesh, tearing through the wound, dealing that much damage. And he looks quite wounded. Gunn.
I'm going to reach over and lay my hand on Asher's shoulder, and it cause some healing, which will heal for 18 points.
Okay, Asher, your wounds close over, the bleeding stops. You feel safe for at least just this moment.
I checked on Glimpse of Redemption. I had it in my sheet as an enemy attacks one of your allies, but in the book, they must have updated it after the playtest was done. It says
Oh, yes.
when an enemy damages one of your allies.
Okay.
So we're doing it right. It's
We're
fine.
doing it right. I'm going to... I said, Aldern, I said your battle's with me, and I'll attack him.
For the shot.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get him to
Hey, I appreciate it.
turn his focus. And
Yeah,
I have
you
a
try
total
to-
of 20.
You try to put yourself in between the two of them and swing. Aldern quickly steps back, avoiding the blow.
I think I'll
You have one action left.
go again. I think I'll go again. Nope, it's worse.
Womp womp. Where's
Okay.
that horn?
You swing again for 14, just completely missing Aldern in your haste to strike him down quickly. Greshy, top of round 5.
All right. Well, we'll keep this ARP going a bit. Move it into hang out with Aldern, so he can make his successful save and not take any damage again.
I mean, reflex is kind of his high score, so 31 this time.
Oh, that succeeds. It's fine.
Maybe
It-
maybe we should.
I'm probably gonna get rid of it next turn, but for now, I mostly wanted to move it so that I could move Phelan into position and have him take a bite out of crime. That's a natural 20 for Phelan,
Yay, he's made it.
and finally for a total 31.
Okay, Phelan leaps in behind, bites at his leg, roll the damage.
It's 10, 8, so total of 18 damage.
Total of
Not
18
great, but
damage.
not terrible.
Okay, he rips through Aldern's flesh. He's kind of hobbled now, but he still is extremely fixated on Asher.
All right, with my final action, I'm going to get a bit closer here because I'm tired of hanging out in the corner too far. 10, 15, 20. That's close enough. That's fine. Asher's turn.
Okay.
Alright. I'm so scared. I want to go.
Okay, Asher
Call
backs
over
up
here.
along the cavern wall,
I'm
moving as far away from.
spooked.
I
Alright.
just realized I'm gonna be that guy, but we haven't been making fort saves for being near him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Sorry, I
no.
forgot. That's okay.
It's a good call. It's a good call.
Shall I make a
The
flip?
adrenaline has been. Yeah, go ahead and give me a. Yeah, Greshy, Gunn, and Asher. Go ahead and give me fort saves.
That's
I
fair.
always forget about auras. I forgot to turn on his like visual aura for me. So
That's a 31 for Greshy. I think
A
he's alright.
28 for me.
okay, you're both fine. Gunn.
Gunn has
Hey,
a 27.
you were all fine. You retroactively saved.
It was all fine. It was never a problem in the first place.
He smells awful, but you've smelled worse.
It really affected Phelan the most because, you know, he's a dog. He smells a lot.
Aw.
Also, he sniffs things.
He should like it. He should be like, yay, I'm gonna roll in it.
What a curious odor. Oh, God.
All right.
I'll have moved.
So Asher is moved for one action.
I'm gonna reload for my second since I have to. I think that's because it's a different number. But there we go. And I'm gonna try.
Come on.
I'm gonna try so hard to shoot. Try my best. Oh, it's a 20.
Okay, this situation is just so unnerving to you. You're not able to really focus.
I
You
can't
fire.
shoot myself. It's so hard. It's me. An evil
Okay.
version of me.
Aldern's turn. He's gonna slip past Gunn and just charge at you.
Get out of here.
Does Aldern Asher have a goatee and everything?
Yeah, no, he looks like Asher right now.
Yeah, including a goatee to be evil Asher?
No, not a goatee, no.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, Asher already has, he's got like a beard,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but he's got
I
to have
have
like a proper goatee, like just a black goatee.
No, it looks exactly like Asher, except wearing
Oh,
Aldern's
like
clothes.
an evil goatee.
There you go.
He has a curly mustache.
Hey, natural
Yeah.
20 on his first attack. So he dives at Asher. That is 34 points of piercing damage as he
Get
stabs you
away
and
from
rakes the blade
me.
across your flesh. You are now bleeding again.
We'll do the resistance thing again.
Resistance.
The glimpse of redemption.
Oh,
Every time he
oh.
attacks Asher, he feels guilty about it.
What's the range?
Some 15 feet. Oh, are they both within 15 feet? I think so.
Yes, they are both
Asher's-
within 15 feet.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, he's about to lunge and stab at you, but Gunn calls out again, and just for that one moment, he hesitates right
Thank
as the
God
blade's
for
about
these
to touch your
calls.
flesh.
He has the option to go through with it.
He
doesn't
does,
wanna be
but
in-
he can't.
Do you know how many times I should have died?
You keep
About the same amount
bringing.
of times he should have.
Actually, this is working out great. Keep attacking Asher.
Maybe I should just start pleading with him. Be like, please stop this.
It's an option.
Stop attacking me. Ow.
So the second attack is a 27 to hit.
That does hit. I'm a 22.
Okay, so he
Not
did.
a crit
He,
this time for once.
he hesitates from the first attack, almost landing a critical, but Gunn's shout brings him back to reality. But it's only for a moment before he slashes again. That is going to be just 13. Sorry, not 13. 17 points of piercing damage.
Okay. I'm alright. It's okay.
No save against bleeding on a non-crit.
There is no bleed on the non-crit. It's only on crit. So, Aisha flings herself at Aldern again. Natural 20ing her grapple.
Thank goodness.
She drags him up into the air.
Oh.
Strangling the last bit of life out of him. The two of them sort of twist and turn through the air as bits of dust and rubble just kind of swirl around them. She screeches out. He's trying to call out from beyond the choking, I guess. The mask slowly slips and falls off into the salty water below. As it does, it sort of morphs back into just like the weird skin leathers instead of Asher's face. The two of them twirl about in the air as if ballroom dancing for just a moment, before she lets go of Aldern's body. He crashes into the waves, black blood seeping out into the waters. Tears are streaming down Aisha's face as a white light kind of passes over her body, slowly dissolving her. Her mission in life, or unlife, complete. And the cave falls silent.
I'm still very upset.
You should be.
Is
That's unpleasant.
Aldern still floating there? I'm rushed down to the edge.
Okay. As Gunn rushes down to the edge to check on the state of Aldern, we're going to take a quick break. BRB. We're back. And they're back. We're all back. So, Gunn rushes down to the water to see what the state is of Aldern's body. It is there, floating in the water. Black blood dripping out. Nobleman's clothes soaked with both water and blood. The strange, fleshy mask floating beside him.
Let's fish him out. Can I just reach down to him? Is the water too deep for that?
The water, so you look down, it looks like this water is pretty deep.
Okay.
You're not sure how far
Well-
down the tunnel goes.
Lasso him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Greshy, toss me a rope from the bag.
Oh, sure.
Or possibly the 10-foot pole. We'll just do-
Yeah, I'll toss you the pole to start with, and if you can't quite get him out with that, we'll
Try
try
to.
lassoing him or whatever.
Okay, Greshy pulls out the folded up 10-foot pole, unfolds it, and hurls it javelin style over to Gunn, who catches it swiftly and then uses it to try and fish Aldern's body out of the water. It's not too hard to do. The water does kind of recede and come back up and recede and come back up with the waves, but with a bit of effort, after a few minutes, you're able to get his body and the mask over to the shoreline.
I'll just hand the mask directly to Asher.
I'll take it, but I don't. I'll be like, ooh.
You don't want to look like yourself?
It's the first thing I've touched that I've been kind of grossed out by.
Yeah,
Really?
you catch
Asher
it,
doesn't
and it's
like it.
I'm surprised by this.
It was his own face. It's weird. It's the first weird thing he's found weird.
yeah, you catch it in your hand, and it's sogging wet, but it just feels like human flesh, like just flesh leathered, like it was flayed from someone and stitched together. It's just like it's got these kind of very rough stitches all around it, with just simple eye holes cut out.
Is there a way to try and like figure out what it might be, since it might have been magical?
Could try identifying it.
I feel like you need detect magic to do an identify, but maybe you can identify without it. I forget.
Good.
We've done this
If it's
before.
not just a skill check, then, I mean, I picked up a feat for quick identify, which lets me use my... When you identify magic swiftly, you only take 1 minute.
I thought it was just a skill check for
I
identifying.
think it was just a skill check, so let me go find it real quick. Yeah, go ahead and roll occult for me.
Oh, a natural one for a 10. I'm doing so well today.
Sure, why?
Today is a great day for Asher.
So your ability only kicks in when you
fail, not critical
When you
fail.
fail,
Yeah,
not
critical
critical
fail
fail.
doesn't mean anything. I
Okay,
get
yeah.
nothing.
Looking at this, you look it over, and it must be a mask that just transforms into your face.
Let me try and combine clever improviser with quick identify. Identify normally takes 10 minutes.
Well, Asher seems to have figured it out, so
Let me have
Yeah,
a
It
let me have a look
turns
at
into
that,
my
actually.
face. What about tanning?
I got a whole 8.
you
So
Asher hands it back to you, and you look at it. Yeah, it must be a mask that just turns into Asher's face specifically.
That's a weird sort of thing to make.
This is weird. I guess if anyone wants to look like me, they can just wear this mask. There's
No.
no reason for me to put it on because I look like me.
Would you just look
Ooh.
more like you?
What if we put it on Phelan? Will his
You're not
face
putting
look
that on the
fine?
dog.
Phelan!
You're not
Come
putting it on.
here.
Do not put it on the dog.
Here, Phelan, I'm
What-
gonna put it on your face.
what is the rest of Aldern's state?
Phelan.
Has his face reverted to his original face, or to his monster face, or
It is still in his monstrous form, and I can show the chat, I think. Let's see. There we go.
Oh, it's
but he's
Um,
no longer okay? So only the mask was Asher.
Correct. His
Gotcha.
body remains in ghoulish form. His tongue just kind of
If you want
lolling
someone
out,
to wear
but-
try the mask on, I will. I don't mind.
Where did
I'm like
that,
trying to fit it over Phelan's head.
Quit
and you're like,
putting
please
it on
don't do
Phelan.
that.
Leave the dog alone.
Where
Like
did
his
that-
head's just oddly shaped.
razor sword end up falling?
The razor sword was in the water too, but you can fish it out with relative ease.
All right, let's fish out anything else that he dropped in the water, and then see if if he's carrying any papers or other items.
Okay, you rummage through his belongings, and so you've got the skin saw razor, which is the weapon he's got. It is a special weapon. I can give you the details for later. He's also got the Stalker's mask, which I think somebody has right now. We'll go over that when you identify it for real.
Asher's
And
face.
aside from that, you do find a gold locket stuffed into his pocket. A pocket locket.
A clocket, if you will.
Delightful thing
Is
to
it
find.
open?
Yeah, you fish it out of his pocket and dry the water off of it. Undo the clasp and open it. And inside is a small painted portrait of Asher.
Painted? Like, by whom? I mean, in what way? Is it like oil on canvas? Is it watercolor?
What can you do with a small?
curious.
It's ink,
How-
rather.
How did he get a
yeah.
painting into a locket?
It's just a small locket painting. It's more like a sketch with some colored inks. Let's call
Okay.
it that.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Does it look good? Is it a good painting?
And that
yeah,
to Asher as well.
it's pretty reasonable. Yeah. It looks like it might have been done from memory. Certainly not. Like, it's not detailed enough to have been done, like, in your presence.
I want it to be like a stick figure. Like my friend Ash.
No,
just
it
has
certainly
an arrow
looks. It
pointing
looks
that
quite.
Says Asher, that's how you know that it's you.
So he had a
It's got
mask.
Asher's trademark swoop and beard and his little cow hide.
A little cow.
It's just him giving like a thumbs up and winking.
Well,
Well, this is very unnerving to me mostly. I don't like any of this. He has a party mask that's my face. He's got a locket with me in it. What else does he have of me?
I think he likes you.
I
or
suppose
used
that
to.
fella deserves to be buried. But
I'm not
I
sure
don't
he
know.
deserves it.
maybe given all the other dead critters down here. Maybe we just collapse the whole place.
I like
some
that
point.
idea.
Where was it he came from over here?
Yeah, it came from that door.
Yeah, it came up that.
Doorway? Let's go take a look,
Yeah.
Phelan.
Yeah, Greshy points at a door on the south western side of the cavern that you haven't checked out yet.
Let's all make our way over there.
I have no interest in burying what kind of bastard he was.
What kind of. Is this dirt, rock,
It's kind of sandy rock
sandy?
in this room. Yeah,
I don't think
Sandstone.
we're
it's like loose rock,
gonna-
small loose rock, not
I don't
quite
think
sand.
we're gonna
but
be able to find anything anyway to bury somebody down here.
the other chambers
toss
are a
them into
bit
the sea.
more proper rock. But you
Maybe
make your
there's-
way over to what is a stone door, like embedded into the wall. It does seem like it has a locking mechanism on it, but it's obviously been opened.
Well, might as well go inside. Greshy leads the way. What do we find?
Okay. You step inside, revealing a kind of dead-end chamber. On the far south wall, there is a massive clump of moss. Or not moss, fungus, I guess? Mold. There we go. Mold is the word. A massive
alright.
clump of mold in the rough shape of a human body. And it's this kind of eerie green color with various big bulbous pockets kind of pulsing on it. Around the edge are these strands of mold stretching out away from it, around the room and like out into the hallway and the caverns. You see
That's-
cracks in the ceiling where the mold has like climbed up through the ceiling and into who knows where.
Can I attempt to identify it using my nature skills?
Sure, but let me give you the rest of the description of the room.
Of
There's
course.
also that's like the first most striking thing in the room. There is also, in addition to the sort of just vile smell of decay, brine and mold, there's a single rickety table in the center of the room. Its damp surface covered with what appears to be all sorts of bits of garbage. A couple of empty bottles, some bits of reddish orange clothing, like little bits of scraps, some tufts of brown hair that have been sort of collected together with little strings, a single old comb, a few crumpled bits of paper, and a few other little tiny tidbits, a single button, that sort of thing. Beside the table sits is leaning a large painting that's currently facing away from you towards the wall. A chair, the chair that's sitting there against this table is sort of smeared with blood and rotten meat. And it's got like the table has table arms, or sorry, the chair has chair arms, and those arms are also smeared with blood as well. There's another smaller table in the corner, southeast corner of the room. Its surface heaped with plates and platters of rotten, maggot-infested meat. And I think that is, that's the bulk of what you see at a glance here. There's also what appears to be an exquisite looking smallish, like handheld box at the foot of the fungus. It looks like it's like cracked or shattered.
I'll see what we can do with this fungus first. Does it look
I-
familiar at all?
My first guess is that this guy failed to make a phylactery.
And made
and
of
become
fungus?
a lich, and become a lich, and instead the potion killed him and fungus grew.
Huh.
Something like that.
I've never tried. Not sure if that's how funguses are made.
Just a guess. I mean, not all funguses.
Just this particular one, that's fair.
Yeah, you wanted to do a
Yeah, nature check. See if
to
I could
try and-
identify it.
Sure.
Let's see. Bad. 25 total.
This is definitely not any kind of naturally occurring fungus in the slightest.
Is it an occulty fungus?
Uh,
Whatever caused this was probably some kind of result of some sort of magic or something otherworldly, at least.
I'd like to see if I can feel anything that how related this room is to the haunting of the mansion. Is this the source of the haunting? Perhaps a religion check can do that.
Pray to your god. See if he answers.
Sure. If you stepped further into the room, yeah, you could do a religion
All right,
check.
I'll do that.
It's not a trap at all.
Well, you guys are all you're all currently like
right in front of
huddled up
In the entryway.
Oh yeah,
in
I
the
didn't want
entryway.
to push in, but I'll come to the room.
I'll step in front of Greshy there and
Okay. You
Well,
step
while
in
he's doing
and
that, go ahead.
survey the room.
have a 19.
19. There's definitely a lot of just foul energy radiating from this room. It's certainly possible. You're not sure, but it's certainly possible that this is at least some major source of pain.
Well, I have a thought. Depends on what you want to do first in here, Gunn.
Go ahead. I have no.
Greshy's going to step forward and pull out the Scroll of Burning Hands, level 2, and burn the fuck out of the fungus.
Scroll?
Aye.
Okay.
Well, I'm not gonna stand in the room while you burn the fungus.
All right.
I'm gonna leave the room.
You're more than welcome to.
That does seem like a good idea.
I'm scared of the fungus.
Okay, so Asher and Gunn kind of back out of the room to avoid the fumes of this enclosed space burning the fungus. Greshy pulls the scroll from within his robe, raises it, chants the magic words, and the scroll itself burns away as a plume of flame fills the side of the wall, burning away much of the fungus.
Could have just used the
That's-
torch.
Smoke, a sort of dark, dank smoke fills the room and kind of flows outward past Gunn into the main chamber. It
Crouch
does.
down.
A lot of the mold does seem to give way, but as you sort of wave your hands and the smoke kind of clears, you can already see like bits of mold starting to just creep back. Very slowly, but you can tell that this isn't going to permanently solve whatever's here.
Well, it's unfortunate.
Let's try that box. Let's see what's in the
All right.
ornate box.
Go for it. You want to open it?
Sure. I'll pick up the ornate box carefully. Try not to break it or trigger anything.
Okay. The box itself is in many pieces, but you reach down and pick up what seems to be the largest piece. As you touch it, you feel just just this dark chill kind of shoot through your veins. But you lift up the box and kind of look it over, and your vision goes dark.
I can't see.
You turn and looking around, and you do see. So to everyone else, he's just standing there looking at this. But to you, Gunn, you you're turning, looking around. You can make out sort of the shadows of leaves all around you. And you see off in the distance a shining light. It's faint, but it's there.
I'll drop the piece that's in my hands.
Okay, it clatters to the floor.
Am I still seeing the same
Color
thing?
begins to fill your vision, but you find yourself standing in a forest clearing at night. As color begins to sort of... the greenery around you begins to become green instead of black. But you can still barely make out that light in the distance. It's off behind some trees.
Do I still have all my equipment?
Yeah, you look around, you touch yourself. Your equipment's all here.
I'll go looking for that light, see what it is.
Okay.
Investigate.
Alright, you approach towards the light. Give me a perception check.
A 12.
Okay. You try to get closer, peering through the leaves, and you can't quite tell what this is. It seems to be like a large creature of some kind.
It's a
Much
glowing creature?
much larger than you, but it is glowing. Yeah, glowing with this kind of bright, radiant light.
There are trees around. Is the creature headed this way?
The creature seems to be just standing still. You can
Okay,
continue
maybe
moving
I'll-
towards it.
Maybe I'll keep moving toward it, but I'll try to hide behind trees as I do so. Move from tree to tree.
Okay. You dart from tree to tree, carefully trying to approach. Give me a stealth check.
Oh no.
Sure.
You wanted to be stealthy.
Oh, I'm stealthy now. I'm improvising stealth. Anyway.
Yeah, you can improvise your stealth.
Where
Go
did
ahead.
it go? Where did it go? Oh, there it is. I'm kind of stealthy. I got an 18.
It's not bad. It's not
18?
bad.
That's pretty good. You manage to sneak closer and closer. You're about 50 feet away from this creature now when it sort of comes into view. It's a massive glowing stag. It seems just to radiate energy. Stars kind of flow through its body as it gives off this sort of celestial glow. It doesn't
Does
seem
that
to have
mean
noticed you.
Does that mean anything to me? In terms of symbolism or whose sign is the stag?
Well, you know that Erastil certainly does like it some stags. The stag is often, and deer are often seen as symbols of Erastil.
Right. Okay. Then I will just come out and walk over to it.
Okay, you walk over and approach. It, seeing you, it turns and darts. It's starting to run away. You've got one chance. Your bow, you feel your bow vibrating.
My bow? I should
Mhm.
shoot the stag? I was going to kneel down and, like, bow.
Do it.
I think I will bow instead of bow.
Do it.
Give me a religion check.
Check, 23.
You know of Erastil's many duties. The hunt is one of his
That's
first and
true.
foremost.
But it feels weird to be worshipping your god by hunting your god. So, all right, I'll take a shot.
Oh, you don't have to. No, this is your choice.
No, I'll unlimber my if that feels like something that would be considered worshipful.
You get to make the meaning out of this that you want. You're not sure. You don't know of this particular creature. You don't know if you should let it get away or if you shouldn't.
Well,
So I'll let you make Gunn can make the choice.
my instinct was to bow to it, but so that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Gunn, you
Like, I'll
you
just drop
feel
down
yourself
to one knee.
reaching naturally for the bow, but you stop. You stay your hand. Those violent tendencies aren't you anymore.
I'll drop down
You're-
to one knee.
You drop down to one knee. The stag stops off in the distance and stares at you and lowers its head. You feel something in your heart glow warmly. And then you snap back to the present day, present time. You're still holding the box. But now you have the
Well-
knowledge of a particular ritual. You can now do consecration.
Okay. That is very handy. I was kind of thinking that maybe that's what we should do, but that we had to call a priest for it. I think we need to purify this place. Can I start with the super quick one action version of that, which is to disable device?
You think that the flames have already kind of subsided that enough for now. The flames have basically taken
Okay.
the place of that, so you don't need to. But
Okay.
if yeah,
So we don't need to what's it called? Exercise this place, and we actually need to consecrate it.
yes, or that's what
Do that one.
you.
I think we need to consecrate this place, and
Hmm.
I think I know how.
Okay. Well, that's good because I don't know how.
Neither did I a few seconds ago, but now I do.
Oh, that's good.
So we're just making this up now?
He's improving.
All
I
right.
trust him. I trust this man. He saved
So,
me many times.
How exactly do we consecrate the place?
Well, let's see. I had it a minute ago.
And how long is this going to take?
A couple of days. 3 days.
Days?
Well, there's an awful lot of energy here that we need to
Oh, good God.
overcome.
All right. Well,
You certainly don't have to do this.
We also need rare incense and offerings worth a total value of 20 GP times the spell level, which is level 2. So we need 40 GP worth of materials.
we may need to come back and do this then.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you all remember who the brothers were?
His brothers?
There were 2 brothers that he killed.
I don't think that's who he was talking about.
Oh, yeah, like
You've not
his
heard of the Brothers of the Seven, I assume?
No, probably not.
Okay. Somebody drove him to this, and he said the brothers made him do it when Aisha was choking him one of them times. She did that bit. Hard to keep track.
I think the first time, yeah. It's like the brothers made me do it.
Would you like to go for a trip to Magnamar?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes. I don't like big cities, but I'll follow if everyone else goes. But I don't like Ash does not like big cities.
I
We
am
have a few
sure we.
things to do first, but
Well, I am sure that we can pick up your incense and such there. We may even be able to find more people who knew how to do this consecration, whatever. But I don't. There's something in my head that makes me think these brothers are based out of Magnamar. I
think
remember
Sam-
something.
I
A
think
long time ago.
Sandpoint would have everything I would need.
We go back there then.
Is it
Since they
just
have
like
the cathedral.
40 gold of like specific materials or just something worth 40
Incense
gold?
and offerings.
Okay.
So
So some of it must be incense, and then the rest is
we'll find a
valuable.
place to spend the money.
You can also forage for Yeah,
Some
I
rare
would say that you
incense,
could
that sort
probably
of thing.
forage for the incense, yeah, or for things that you could burn that would be equivalent.
We have the painting. I don't know if that's worth gold. We have the head.
Oh, that's right. Did we ever look at this painting that you said was in here that we couldn't see?
Oh yeah, I
So
forgot.
if
about
not, I'm
No,
going to
it's
take
just
a look at that
sitting
now.
there.
Ooh,
See
just
what's-
turn it around and show me. That's gone well.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to do exactly that.
Okay,
All right,
you
I'm ready.
you grab the portrait from the back and turn it towards Asher, revealing a portrait of a woman with black hair, but overlaid on top of that, smeared in blood, is Asher's face drawn on top of it.
Great. This is a lovely painting, and I'm glad you showed it to me, Greshy. We should keep it forever. That's certainly worth 40 gold. Right
But
there.
it's a woman seated in a what looks like a small but very nice like apartment room, with an open window overlooking a view of a city.
Wait,
Do I
you know what
recognize the
this is?
skyline at all?
Give me Magnamar lore.
Sure. That one.
I feel like that tells us what the city is.
That's a natural 20 for a total of 29.
Not only do you recognize that, yes, this is very obviously Magnamar, you're pretty sure you know the exact like city block where this picture was painted from. Like, you recognize that exact like view. It's in the Nobles district.
Of course it is.
This looks like one of the many townhouses in that area.
Is the blood like fresh enough that I can clean it off relatively easily?
Should I clean off
yeah,
my face?
yeah. With a little bit of work, you can, and some water, you could clean it off.
My face, Greshy.
Do you
Someone
want
put
your
that
face
down.
on here? Would you like me to fix
No.
it up so that it's all of you? I could try
That's all
painting.
of me?
I could try
Yay,
painting
I want
you
to see
onto here.
Greshy's artwork of me.
I'll just try painting. Nah. Use some of this dried blood over here. Oh.
Greshy's interpretation.
Well, Gunn, do you want to spend 3 days down here trying to do this thing, or do you want to come back and do it?
Need to come back and do it because I don't think we can get enough materials to do it
I also,
on our own.
out of character, I believe it requires multiple people who are of the same faith.
Oops.
In this case, I would say no. You could all do it.
Okay. As long as that's all right, then we could come back and take care of this, and I would be fine with that. Just
You ever checked out the basement area?
we could go clear that out on
to
our way
make
out.
sure there's nothing like
Yeah, let's
creeping in there.
check the rest of the house and then.
I say we make for Magnamar. I think we have a lead to see who these brothers are. I don't think Aldern turned himself into whatever he is by himself.
I agree.
It might have been something in his house, but I don't know. These brothers, I think I've run in with them before. Long time ago.
I don't like big cities and I don't know city people.
Well, you know me.
So, are you a city people?
Once upon a time.
I
I'll come from
wouldn't have
somewhere.
guessed, Greshy. You seem so woodsy.
We all come from somewhere, Asher.
I don't.
Um,
I don't come from somewhere. I don't come from a city.
So, Greshy, are you just holding the painting?
I'm gonna take it with us. Let me see if I can put it in the bag as well. Should it fit? Is it gonna be another couple minutes of me trying to stuff it in there?
Yeah,
I
it'll
would
probably just take a
like
few
to-
minutes to stuff it in.
I would like to move Aldern's body into this chamber, and
Okay.
then take some of the larger loose rocks that we can get and build like a cairn.
Okay, so
Cover
while
up other-
Greshy is stuffing that, you find Aldern's body and grab a few rocks and bring them all into this room.
Based painting of. Is this a painting of Aisha?
like over
if I
here.
can clean it off a bit.
Yes, it is. Once you've got it cleaned off, it does appear to be Aisha.
All right.
It's quite a good
That
painting,
he-
too. It's definitely amateurish, but it looks quite nice. It's probably worth a
If you show it
lot.
to the right people, somebody might want it.
Give me a perception check, Gunn.
27.
Okay. As you're dragging Aldern's body past the table, you notice that there's a bunch of stuff on the table that nobody's looked at.
Fair enough. Carrying rather than dragging, but
Sure.
somewhat respectful.
I don't know
yeah,
why
let's
you'd be
take
so
a-
respectful.
Let's take. Well, the table was full of garbage, was the last thing I heard, but let's see if there's anything valuable in that garbage.
Yeah, nobody's sifted through it.
We haven't.
Oh, I thought it was just like a piece of paper here and there. I didn't know it was like a huge pile.
Yeah, no, it's just a bunch of stuff.
Bunch of stuff.
Look.
I'll come over and help
I'll
you
search.
sift.
Okay, you guys sift through the stuff on the table. A lot of these things, Asher, you recognize as your stuff. It's
My
just
stuff.
random bits and bobs of things that you've just lost over the last few weeks. Just like
I've lost stuff.
you
Lost a
didn't
button
think
here.
you did, but you look down. There's a button. One of your buttons did go missing. You look. These are clumps of your hair. Here's
Where am I losing hair? Are they like cut?
How
Did
does
someone
this-
come and cut my
No,
hair in my
these-
sleep?
These look like strands of hair that have just been like collected and bundled together.
He's been stalking you for quite a while. And that's very creepy as fuck. It's
Right
almost more
there-
creepy than the mask.
Right there is just a clip from like just a snip off of your cowhide.
Where did he get the time to snip my cowhide?
How did we not notice him
When
before?
did this person? Where was this guy?
But mixed in amongst the stuff, there you find a tarnished iron key with a round opal inset into it,
Oh, thank goodness.
More
Something
keys
that's not
for
mine.
more doors.
I have a key.
and an envelope with a letter inside. But sitting on top of the envelope is a small but very long bronze key with a roaring lion's head. Inside a drawer, you also find a rune stone that looks like a glamored rune stone, as well as a few bundles of gold in sort of small wallets, amounting to 223 gold.
I suppose that'll pay
And-
for your incense and whatnot.
Gunn, while you're helping sift through this stuff, you notice something smoldering in the corner in the burned up mold. You spot just the tiniest shimmer of metal.
Go fish that out as well.
Okay. You approach and reach in and sort of dust off whatever this object is and lift it up, and it is a simple golden bell with a handle.
Ah. We were looking for that. I know this one, thanks to the vision. But I got impaled for this knowledge. But this is a chime of opening.
Oh,
Yeah, you turn it over, you can see there are magic runes inscribed in it, and there is a single crack that's kind of running about halfway up the bell. It's got
Is
It
that supposed
would
to
have-
be there?
it's gotten that from use.
Okay.
It should have 10 uses by default, but this one only has 5 left.
Ah.
Once you use up all the uses, then it breaks and becomes useless.
I see. Okay.
What was in
Well,
the
those are-
envelope on the table?
Yeah, let's check the envelope.
I don't know.
A letter? Should we open it?
I'm going to open it.
Okay, Asher approaches, lifts the key off the envelope and turns
Are
it
you
over.
sure you want to know?
It says to Aldern on the outside.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm
Is
gonna
Asher
read his
writing
mail.
Aldern letters in his
Maybe
sleep
it's
now?
maybe it's
Maybe it's photos
from
of me
Asher
asleep. Because
to
that's
Aldern.
apparently what's been happening.
I'm just imagining Aldern's now like in your room at night, been sketching you.
You know what? I don't shower, so therefore I don't take off my clothes. So there's gonna be no naked photos of Asher here. Thank goodness. Everyone made fun of me, but now they know.
Is Asher a never nude?
He's a never nude. And this is why. He has cowhide shorts under everything.
So, Asher, cowhide shorts and all, lifts up the
Enjoy.
envelope, turns it over, sees that it's addressed to Aldern, and then you flip it back around and pull the letter out.
Yeah, I'm gonna open his mail.
Okay. So I'll show it
The
to
man's
you.
dead. Who freaking cares?
I'll show it to everyone, but if you would kindly read it aloud.
Aldern, you have served us quite well. The delivery you harvested from the caverns far exceeds what I had hoped for. You may consider your debt to the brothers paid in full, yet I still have need of you, and when you awaken from your death, you should find your mind clear and able to understand this task more than in the state you lie in as I write this. You shall remember the workings of the Sahedron ritual, I trust. You seemed quite lucid at the time, but if you find after your rebirth that you have forgotten, return to your townhouse in Magnamar. My agent shall contact you there soon. No need for you to bother the brothers further. I will provide the list of proper victims for the Sahedron ritual in 2 days' time. Commit that list to memory and then destroy it before you begin your work. The ones I have selected must be marked before they die, otherwise they do my master no good, and the greed in their souls will go to waste. Ooh. If others get in your way, though, you may do with them as you please. Eat them, savage them, or turn them into pawns. It matters not to me, Zanesha, mistress of the seven.
And stamped in the corner of the letter is the ever-familiar Sahedron rune.
Well, this gives a lot of clarity.
Yeah, it does.
Oh dear.
Well, I guess
That
that's
explains
why
quite
they
a
were all
bit.
marked up.
Greed. So they're not after Wrath anymore. Or this is separate from that other issue.
Might be separate.
I don't know. Somehow these things are connected.
Well, why was he after me then?
Because he thought you were cute. I'm
I don't
just
know about
saying, what you
that.
want? He apparently thought you were attractive enough.
Do you think I'm attractive, Greshy? Enough for
No.
a man to stalk me? Oh, thank you, Greshy.
You're welcome.
That makes me feel better about
So-
maybe I won't get stalked again.
Someone is due here to deliver a list of victims.
Or already has.
I think he already got the victims.
Because
Perhaps. So that's-
he's
'Cause
been
he
marking
says
people.
They,
he
needed
has
to be
been
marked.
doing that. That's true.
So I think he's already got it, and he's probably, if he's followed the directions, burned that list. But we've dealt with him enough now.
Okay, so we don't know if there's any more that he had not yet done.
That said, they may be up to other things that
Well,
don't
that-
involve him.
That means that he served his service before becoming a ghoul. He did something else for the brothers, and they did something for him. What does that? Right. So the harvest from the caverns is not when he started murdering people. It's prior to that.
Are
What
those
did
the
he-
caverns that we were in?
What did he harvest, and is it from these caverns?
I thought it was from the caverns underneath Sandpoint.
Was he involved with the area underneath the glassworks? I don't think so.
Well, we don't. He might have snuck
He
in.
might have been. Did he? Does this imply that he knew the other group of insurgents and was working with them at the time?
I don't know. They might have been separate. They might have known of each other and not talked
Perhaps
to each
he
other.
was the sponsor of that whole thing.
I don't
even when
think
he
so.
was
He
damaged.
seems. I
He
don't
seemed
think he
rather
would have.
innocent, and he was being attacked in the city by
I-
those goblins.
I don't think he'd be putting himself in quite that danger if he were.
I don't feel
It
like
could
he
have all been-
orchestrated
time.
anything
Could
because
have
it
all
says
been a
his debt.
ruse to.
I feel like he was trying to settle a debt with them and thought he was done, and then they killed him to resurrect him.
Right.
So I don't think he was.
What did they do for
Working with
him that put
them.
him in their debt?
Yeah.
And what did he harvest and deliver from the caverns before they killed him? We don't know that yet.
Yeah. Well, we can
Suppose we know where
find
we'll
out.
find our answers.
Maybe is that his townhouse in the painting?
Does
Seems
Aldern's
to be.
body have I already totally buried Aldern's body? Covered it up? 'Cause-
Not completely, no. You noticed the stuff on the table, and then you guys started doing that before you finished dealing
Does
with
he
Alder's
have
body.
does he have the Sahedron marks on his body? Was he
You remove his jacket and clothing, and no Sahedron marks on his chest, not on
Okay.
his back.
reading the second paragraph here? Almost seems like they're taunting him, like, oh, by the way, do you remember the ritual way that we killed you? I'm sure you were taking notes. You know,
I see what
so
you're saying.
you seemed quite lucid when you saw it the first time when we used it to kill you. But no. So he also may have seen them do this ritual one time before dying. And what was that time?
Don't know. We didn't see anyone marked this way in the caverns,
No.
so this is something else.
I have a question. Is the body-shaped fungus area still there? Oh, are you speaking, Jason?
You're
I
muted,
can't hear
Jason.
you.
I muted myself. A lot of it has been burned away, but it's like slowly creeping back in. The only way to permanently get rid of it is probably with consecration.
No, sorry. I was Is it just like a marking on the floor, like 2D flat? It's not like a body covered in.
Oh no, it's 2D flat along the wall.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that wasn't like a body.
It's like he was standing there and exploded,
Okay.
and it like splatted him against the wall.
All right, that makes more sense.
I love that part of Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, that's exactly the scene I'm thinking of.
Well,
I was thinking of a different one.
But yes, imagine a person splatted against the wall, and like mold like radiating out of it. The center has been kind of cleared away by fire, but it is microscopically creeping back in.
it's unfortunate. Well, if you want to continue burying Aldern, go right ahead. We
Yep.
can look through the rest of the house, but I think the next thing we're going to find is going to be in Magnamar. I think that's where we're headed next.
Okay.
Okay. Gunn takes a few more
Tell the
minutes
people
to.
of Sandpoint who killed everyone.
I think it was a question to the party.
Yeah.
We could send a messenger once we get there.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
I think we're gonna stop. So my plan is to head back there, buy some supplies, immediately come back here, perform the consecration, and then head to Magnamar.
It's a lot of time. It's possibly more bodies if Aldern wasn't the only one doing this.
It has the feeling it's something that needs to be done, though.
I don't.
We're going to get another opportunity.
I mean, if we succeed in dealing with these brothers with this Zanesha person, we can come back at our leisure. I don't think people are going to be coming by the house on their own to enjoy themselves.
It's a bit of a leisurely stroll by.
Yeah, we'll just go and hang out at the Misgivings. It'll be fun, they said.
Well, that's true.
I'm okay with at least. I'm
So
actually
what-
okay with the plan of going back to Sandpoint, at least telling them and getting supplies, and then doing the.
It would probably delay us
Purification.
another 5 days,
It's a long delay.
maybe 6.
I just don't like the idea of leaving something so. Well, Asher, in character, Asher doesn't like the idea of leaving something so violent and sad without at least attempting to calm it.
I don't see any reason why we have to do it now. It's been this way for 80 years?
Probably.
All the more reason to allow the spirits to rest.
Oh, yeah, definitely. In a week, once we're done with whatever nonsense is
Do
going on.
we have enough items on us that could serve as consecration materials without making the return trip to Sandpoint, which takes a day each way?
I think with just maybe a couple hours of scavenging, yeah, I think you could probably get enough to do the ritual today.
We're all pretty self-sufficient in the wilds.
All
We
right,
could do
then,
so.
Then what do you say we do it without leaving?
I'm
We-
for
Is
it.
that a acceptable compromise?
I will accept it if only we just are we able to take a minute to take care of the hearses while we're doing this.
Of course.
I just don't know. It's your ritual.
The ritual takes 3 days to run. We'll definitely have to take breaks,
Okay,
take shifts.
then well, let's go find. We'll bring the hearses in, tie them up someplace that's not haunted, hopefully. Then we'll find our incense or flowers or whatever it is we need for your ritual, and then sure, we'll take care of it now.
It does say secondary casters too must be worshippers of your religion.
Jason said that's okay for this one.
Yeah, it's okay for this one. As long as they're not actively hostile to Erastil, then it's fine.
Okay.
Is I don't think Greshy is, but it'd be quite the odd druid if he were. That's for sure.
So by this point, Gunn has finished burying Aldern. Just loosely under some rocks. What would you guys like to do?
Okay.
Like,
Let's
get
go
out
scavenging.
Of here. Or at least look at the basement first if you want to check that.
Yeah, let's do that as well. You are right.
Okay,
Sure,
so you
we'll
guys
figure out.
make your way back out of Aldern's small alcove, back into the larger chamber with the sound of surf brushing up against the cavern walls. Back through the tunnels, past some ghouls that were slain by Aisha, and up to the spiral staircase that will lead you back up to basement. The secret
Where we
basement.
left a rope hanging, I think.
No, this leads you.
Not this level. We're a level up or level down from there.
Over to this kitchen area
Oh,
where
yeah.
there were a bunch of rat droppings all over this table here
Poop.
to the side.
Do we want to investigate the rat poop?
You go right ahead.
Let's investigate. Is it poop?
There were
Asher,
several
you-
rooms in here we don't think we opened up. Took a look in.
Yeah, so Asher, you approach the table and see, just piles and piles of rat droppings all over. And as you approach this fireplace, you hear sound of quite a lot of skittering. Just
Bet there are rats in there. I I don't feel like I want to bother. Should I bother the rats?
Up to you.
What are the rats doing? I'm gonna peek in.
Just realized I never actually healed up Asher.
Well, as you step closer to the fireplace, a massive swarm of rats floods into the room, surrounding you, all
I found the rats.
chittering, their diseased bodies pulsing with festering
Look,
tumors
everyone.
all over. And that
Rats.
is where we will end the session for
Oh my
tonight.
God.
Hey, I didn't have a bad enough day, so. here's
Oh
some
no, we had to
rats.
keep it going. We had to surround you with rats.
I'm upset that I have to wait a week to battle rats.
To get out.
I'm
Just
sorry,
cover the rats
everyone.
for a week.
Oh my
Jason
goodness.
tempted me, and then the rats.
You fell for a hoof-gliding sinker.
That wasn't
I
a
did.
temptation.
I was like,
that was a
you know what?
threat.
Fine. I'll go investigate the table since Jason was mad at me last time.
What?
And
I
then
wasn't mad
rats.
at you. Well, that's it for today. You have defeated Aldern, sent Aisha's ghost to a higher plane, solved a little bit more of the mystery of what's going on here, and returned to your exploration of the manor to find a bunch of rats.
Rats.
Congrats. Rats were the
One
true
score.
treasure all along. So, hope you all had
Rats were the
fun.
friends we made along the way.
Maybe these rats have incense.
Oh, maybe.
Never know.
Each
Yeah.
one drops a piece of incense. Fantastic.
They've all just been
Find
eating all the
exactly enough
incense.
incense from these rats.
All
Rats
right.
themselves are the incense.
I think that'll
Good
do
night.
it for us tonight. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Farewell.